Hey guys, sorry about that delay. Here we are once again, and as you can see, even though that memory sequence is over, What is up with that shadow? Eh, regardless, even though Carnival is over in-game, we still have all the stuff going on here. You have the music, you have the setting, but it's kind of devoid of human life, so there's not much in the way of griefing we can do on the NPCs. So, before we tackle what needs tackling this episode, we should really get around to handling these final viewpoints. Most of them, unfortunately, are copy-pastes, which that's not a matter of the game being lazy or anything like that. It's just that I think they probably just didn't have much to work with in the way of notable structures past a point. But there are a few neat places. We'll see them. But for the first part of this video, there's going to be well, kind of a judicious use of editing, I'm afraid. I know y'all are on pins and needles waiting for that. So get ready for the first jump cut. And I'm wrapping these up because after these next few missions, we're done with Venice. So I figure may as well handle these. And then we can start working on the DLCs and the other stuff. Because after this memory sequence in this episode, we have the DLCs that I'm going to handle. Have to wrap up Venice with its side missions and stuff, which I've already done them by this point, and I don't like a few of them. They're very mean, they're very rude. But, ooh. Yeah, and most of our footwork's going to be up here in the north in this episode. But we'll see a little bit of it in the future. Let's zip on over there. And here's our second variant of copy-paste. But yeah, DLC episodes, gonna probably have one video to each. And we have the assassin, or not the assassin tombs, I'm sorry, the Templar layers. I've got to be correct on my verbiage there. And then I believe after that we just wrap things up. And last codex page. Fancy occasion. Yeah, we're going to have Old 30 after this episode. So the update post is going to have the whole wall for y'all to peruse. Don't get afraid now. Safety. Now, this last codex page is a nice occasion, so I figured I'd be a gentle soul. You know, no sense in killing these guys. I'll just give them some ladies and I'll make off on my own. I'm such a nice guy. Okay. Now we have actually two database entries among these viewpoints. I'm sorry. And one of them is actually a viewpoint itself. The other is a trick. It's actually like plot directly next to a viewpoint, or rather right next to a database entry. It's kind of misleading, but you'll see it. It's, I think, the last one we get to. And there's the next one. As you can tell, it's copy-paste. And when I pull up the map here, take a look and you'll see that the far westernmost one is kind of filled in with a dark gray shade, meaning it's an entry. There we go. Just another one of them churches. And then we have those two. Now, it mentions Cristoforo Moro, who was a Doge at one point, and unfortunately I can't find anything on Dante, which I assume the whole disowning thing they mentioned there is how they write it in to the fact that he's probably not real, that he's just very well concealed in the history books. Whoop. But I'll skip you past that. I just kind of ran around, shot people, and then I started climbing this over here. It's a copy-paste of the final tomb we went to that was on a church viewpoint. This is pretty much exactly the same, because you could see I fell for that same issue with trying to climb the slats on the side where they were closed. Scrambird. And now that I'm healing, I just remembered something. For the next few episodes, I'm just going to be romping around with letting this armor get beaten up. I want to see how it looks almost entirely completely destroyed. And then at a choice part, we'll switch over to Al's armor and get out Al's sword. But, you know, we have one more weapon to make use of prior to that, and you'll see that at the end of the episode. It's a favorite of mine. And this is the second to last viewpoint. And the last one is just to the east of us. It's actually right beside a database entry. It's like when I was going through this at first, I thought, whoa, where is it? And I looked at the map and realized it is actually an adjoined tower, or I guess a campanile of sorts. But it's a copy-paste design, which is kind of unfortunate. But, you know, they probably used it as a basis or something. Hey, no butt shots. I'm blocking the camera. This is a family LP, mister. Can't have you doing that sort of stuff. Bite me. Now, how to climb. Windows. Whoop. Bards. And more bards and windows. Let's use the door. That works out nicely. Let's put this guy on a bit of a break. There you go. Just helping out where I can. And we've seen these before, so I'm going to jump cut to the top in a moment here. And this is... let me see. Is this the last? I think there's actually one more. I can't remember. We'll find out in a moment. I've already forgotten what I edited. How depressing. Is it the mind or the memory that's the first to go? I don't know. Where are we going? Ah, I thought so. There's one more over here near where the mission starts, and that's inside L'Arsenal. So we're going to get another look inside there. And here we are on one of the rooftops, maneuvering over to the wall. And that's all of them for Venice. We just have a few more left over, and those are inside of... well, we'll get to that, actually. I don't want to spoil it. There's a city of sorts that have... I was kind of distracted here, because you see those on the horizon, those banners. I thought there was a glitch or something, and those were like floating tower bits that weren't popped in yet. I'm easily distracted. Okay. Luckily for us, the mission start is right on top of the wall. So let's spring on over here. and get this party rolling.
Uncle Mario? Where are they taking it?
And this is actually a stalking mission, so let's go ahead and speed it up just a smidge and put in a little music so it doesn't sound like chipmunk time. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. I had to run this mission twice for some reason, and it seems that this guy he has like a couple different routes, I want to say, because in this variation, for the most part, he's stuck to ground level. But in one that I came across after the fact, he actually stuck to, I don't know, he parkoured a lot more on the high ground. Which I'm not sure why or what triggers it, if it's random, or if it depends upon where you're following him from. Because this time I follow him... Whoop! This time I start following him from the ground. But on the other one, I stuck entirely to the rooftops, and he did something kind of weird. Which, you know, unfortunately, just because of how things kind of blend together in the city, I didn't really notice if he started off on a different route or not. And let me see. Where are you going now, buddy? Okay. Okay, I think we're in the home stretch here. On occasion he'll turn around and peek, but he won't find me, because I'd be sneaky. Here we go. And it seems it's guarded, but, let me see it. Bullshit!
The rats will have a rare treat this night. Fresh.
Yeah, immediately went aggressive on me. No real... Okay, fine. There was no real notification or anything. Well, let's jump cut to the end of the second time I went through. And this is from a completely different side, it looks like, because you got that little cask thing there.
The maestro awaits. He will not suffer mistakes. Package it correctly. Do it now.
The Spaniards here? That changes things. If I can infiltrate this group, take the place of the courier, they'll lead me right through the Figlio di Putana.
Okay, so this one, you gotta sneak in there, kill the guy we've been chasing, which... Okay. Now, this one is kind of a little irritating to me. Maybe I was just going about it wrong. But there are guys all up on the roof and inside there, and it's a restricted access zone, meaning guys will attack you almost on sight.
There!
Yeah, and I was hoping for like a bit of a grace period there. But I poked around for a bit, quite literally poked, and I managed to get lucky on one of these passes. This one I really took my time, because, you know, running, they'll spot you. And there's our piggyback target down there. So let's just go ahead, get real close and personal, and wrap this up. Yeah, sure thing, I'll pick it up. Oh, courier, yay. My heart soars.
Yes, sir.
This is a moment of great importance. Stay in formation. Make this right.
So once again, this is just walk from point A to point B. Now, coming up, you're also going to see a, well, in the following cutscene, there is basically a quick time event thing. And usually, in the past, you'd be able to abort the mission, restart it, and come back up to that point. But I hadn't fixed my save date in a while, and basically I ended up missing... Whoop. Look at that. I'm carrying the special thing, I bump into a guy with a box, and all my buddies get mad at me. I run a pretty tight-laced ship here, I guess. Anyways, I had to actually grab the alternate version of the QuickTime event from another video, and since most people got it, the only one I could find was actually pretty poor quality, so you're going to see a bit of a startling transition, but don't worry, it's very quick. But regardless, we're almost done with it, not too much further. And then things are going to get interesting, I promise.
You really have it? You were not followed.
Absolutely. Everything went perfectly. We have followed your orders exactly as specified. The mission to Cyprus was more difficult than expected. There were complications, but we have returned with the artifact and have carefully transported it to you as instructed. We look forward to being generously compensated, as I'm sure you have already considered. What are you waiting for, courier?
Don't mind if I do.
Ezio. It's been some time. No. Leave him to me.
Rodrigo. So, where is he?
Who?
Your prophet.
Ezio. It's been some time.
Rodrigo. So, where is he?
Who?
Your prophet. Doesn't look like anybody showed up, Rodrigo. How many people have died for these? For what's in this box? And look, there's nobody here.
You claim not to be a believer, and yet here you are. Don't you see him? The prophet is already here. I am the prophet. Now give me the apple.
Come and take it from me.
So, kind of a funny story. Yeah, that edit there you saw was me trying to abort the mission, and basically, as opposed to starting me out in a regular place as Ezio, it basically restarted me right here, so there was no way to abort the actual mission. Probably because of the whole dress-up thing that's bundled into it. But regardless, what I thought was funny about the initial footage is that his guys who you could basically put off killing, they just turn around and walk away.
Is this all you have? Where is the rest of your people?
What people?
You really have no idea, do you? Guards!
But as I was saying, they basically just go, well, later boss, and they vanish, and I thought that was kind of funny. So I did kind of okay up to a point. Now here's one thing. Smoke bomb? Nothing. Nothing. Lame. So my timing for this fight was pretty okay, except for the polearm guys. The heavy guys have kind of a deceptive swing, and I get the timing weird, but the polearm guys, I don't know, I just don't, the telegraph doesn't really click with me for some reason. It seems very quick to me whenever I notice it. But hey, maybe I'm just bad at countering. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if that was the case. I think I could live with myself. But I eventually get it.
Uncle!
Don't worry, Nipote. You are not alone.
Volpe? What are you doing here?
We could very well ask you the same thing. Save your questions, brother. Don't let Borgia leave with that box. Avanti!
I'm gonna do very poorly here, but it's on purpose, so you can hear all the dialogue. Yeah, that's right.
Take him down, Ezio! We're right behind you! Come on, Nicodal! All! I got the hunger for more skulls blood!
This is pathetic. You cannot stop what is written. What lies in the vault shall be mine.
Look, my friend, our Ezio's become quite a guerrero.
Somebody's not watching.
A good shadow. The box.
What's fun? You should do this more often.
Bring it
Notevole, Nipote. You've improved since the last time we fought together.
Yeah, not really, Uncle.
Bravissimo. We should do this more often.
The brothers didn't need to die. I just killed them to make a point. There is no merit. No cross the
So I keep trying to pick up a spear, but I keep forgetting I need to be unarmed. I just wasn't thinking straight. That's why you saw me kind of scooting around and playing with them. But don't worry. I notice in a moment here. There we go. There we go. Now, I has me a plan. Alrighty. Get ready. Here goes. Sweet. Whoop, whoop. Sorry, guys. That's, for the greater good. That actually worked pretty well. There's a bit of a wind-up, though. I kind of lied into him for a bit here, but then I decide to hold off and wait for them to stall him so I could give that a bit of a shot again. Because that lets me get in a few free shots, and it worked pretty nice. Come on, buddy. Don't be shy. Haha. Whoop! Sorry, guys. My bad. But we're done. Don't worry, guys.
This is for my father.
Haha.
Paula.
He's gone, but we have what we came for.
No. I need to go after him.
Do you really now? Or are you here for another reason, my son?
Theodora? What? What are you all doing here?
Perhaps the same thing you are, Ezio. Hoping to see the Prophet appear.
I came here to kill the Spaniard. I couldn't care less about your Prophet. He never showed up.
No? But you did.
What?
A Prophet's arrival was foretold. And unbeknownst to us, here you are. Perhaps all along, you were the one we sought.
Cosa? Who are you?
Niccolò di Bernardo de Machiavelli. I am an assassin, trained in the ancient ways to safeguard mankind's evolution. Just like you, and each one of us here.
You are all assassins? Paula. Volpe.
It's true, Nipote. We have all been guiding you for years, teaching you the skills you would need to join our ranks. I think it's time.
We have our prize, but there is much to be done. Come, meet us here at sunset.
Lashea waka umutlak bel kulun munkin. These are the words spoken by our ancestors that lay at the heart of our creed.
Where other men blindly follow the truth, remember.
Nothing is true.
Where other men are limited by morality or law, remember.
Everything is permitted.
We work in the dark to serve the light. We are assassins.
Nothing is true.
Everything is permitted.
It is time, Ezio. In this modern age, we are not so literal as our ancestors, but our seal is no less permanent. Are you ready to join us?
I am.
This only hurts for a while, brother. Like so many things.
Benvenuto, Ezio. You are one of us now. Come, we have much to do.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm gonna go out this way over here, folks. And oh, invisible walls. The game has outsmarted me again, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, down we go.
Are you okay? Do you want to stop?
No, I need to go back. Right now.
Oh dear.
Sean?
Of course. How could I have forgotten?
You want to share with the rest of us?
Rodrigo Borgia is elected Pope in 1492, which means Ezio's greatest enemy is now also the most powerful man in Italy.
Always wanted to visit the Vatican.
Well, your luck's in, Desmond. Happy days. Because that's exactly where you're going.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
What is it, Leonardo? What does it do?
I could no more explain this than explain to you why the Earth goes around the Sun.
You mean the sun around the Earth?
It's fabricated with materials that shouldn't exist. And yet, this is clearly a very ancient artifact.
The Codex refers to it as a piece of Eden.
The Spaniard. He called it the apple.
Like Eve's apple, of forbidden knowledge. Are you then suggesting that this thing... This must never fall into the wrong hands. It would drive weaker minds insane.
No doubt the Spaniard will be relentless in his desire to gain it back.
Ezio, you must protect this with all the skills we have taught you.
Take it to Forli. The citadel is walled, protected by cannons, and our ally controls it.
Who is this ally?
Her name is Caterina Sforza.
You don't say. I think I may enjoy this mission. Thank you for everything, my oldest friend.
Leonardo, Ezio tells me you travel off into Milano. I have a grand villa in Toscana. You must come visit me there.
And there we go. So as you can see, we're wearing a new cape here. Memory sequence 13's been repaired, and 12. Those are usually corrupted if you don't have the DLC, and it skips you straight to the final sequence. A special mission there. But, you know, let's skip over and wrap up a few things. I don't need the money, but this has been bugging me with pop-ups for a while. And there's something else inside this room. As per Mario's conversation, it's Leo.
Leonardo.
Ezio, so good to see you. How can I help you? Ha! You found another one! How exciting! This goes down here, I take that up there and blend it with... I've got it.
And if you rewind the video, you'll notice that the voice that they used for Ezio there was his very young voice, as opposed to the older, gruff one he's got right now, which someone pointed out in the thread, and it's kind of funny to notice it now. And here we go, 26 and 30. And there we go. And well, those are going to be important, but that's something for the future. Next up, I had 54 feathers, and now I have all 100. So let's see what happens. And now we have the Auditore cape, and wearing this inside of places outside of Tuscany will put us at, well, top level notoriety, meaning our little icon on the top left is going to have an assassin symbol. It's going to be all red. So we'll be showing off the Venice one, a little more detail in the future, but there's the Medici cape, there's the Venetian cape, and here's the Auditore cape. It's just kind of to mess around with. Okay, so there's something kind of... well, actually first, before I start up on that, we have 2 more weapons. I'll save Owl's sword for the future. In the meantime, it is hammer time, folks. I love this thing.
Well satisfied, I know it.
Let's get some better light. It's kind of nighttime. Huge! Look at that. I need a bit of a field test. No, I'm not going to hit that lady. Where is somebody I can rough up? There we go. Mercenaries. Condottiero. It kind of goes hand in hand. Guy, you're making me look bad. I need a fancy kill.
Don't be shy.
Rude. Okay, who wants to be... Oh, sorry, ma'am. I was aiming for the thief, really. Oh, awkward. But yeah, if you wear the you know, the family cape in all the zones, including the mountain. This is kind of a trick here, because the mountain where we rode through on the carriage, it is a real zone. If you wear the cape in all of them, wait for it. There we go. Get a little achievement. So yeah, we can actually return to the mountain, and this was the one that I forgot about because I went through all the towns. It was kind of like, why isn't it coming up? And I realized, oh, you have to come here too. There's nothing really here. I guess they just didn't see a reason to lock off a map permanently, even though they kind of did with the tombs, but what you gonna do? So, at that point, I suddenly felt like collecting some achievements. And there's one right here. You get, what is it, 5 or 6 guys all into one little hay bale. I ran short on guards, so I grabbed a civilian. And we have a little party going on in there. And there's another one that I was working on. You have to throw sand at 5 guys and blind them at once. And I couldn't get it right. This is me escaping right here. I found that getting them into a corner worked pretty well, but let's see if I can... Yeah, you get a whole mess of guys. They throw a lot of stones. And for some reason, Ezio didn't want to move at all. Not a matter of controller disconnecting, he just didn't move. So this is kind of awkward. And stoned. But don't you worry, I have much better luck in the future. Ladies. Wait for it. Almost. Haha! And escape time. Adios, jerks. And I'll see you folks in the near future. Take it easy.